What do you think about being happy? I mean, if I'm happy with myself, I tend to be nicer, and I'm more open. I'm more ready to accept people around me. When I'm unhappy with myself, I tend to be different. This is my life experience, observing my own behavior. Do you think that when we are happier somehow with ourselves, because we accept ourselves, it's easier to deal with other people limits, let's call also them that way?
Yeah, no, definitely. ラリサさんが言ったのは、自分がハッピーな時、自分が幸せである時に、いろんなものを受け入れられることができて、やっぱり自分の状態が良くないと、それとは逆の方向に行ってしまう。I think so. Really, it's interesting that when I came here in England, everything I thought is gray and everyone is very unfriendly. Everyone is constantly thinking about negative feeling. And yes, I have more freedom and maybe financial freedom, many things, but I don't think there's a situation when I came here and now it's not different at all. I just the perspective changed. So I feel more happy now so that I could accept people, and vice versa, I could accept people so I can be happy. Yeah, it's about happiness. It's very we always come back to that. Truly happy is avoiding what we have, and then I say on the roots of being, we've been avoiding the truth. So people say like truth. Well, does it exist, the truth? But I really believe that exists. That truly happy and truth that you are aiming, you are past the truth. That what is the truth for you, and we keep avoiding for thousands of years. That's the problem. There is always a truth, but we are actually not wanted to see it. そう、自分がここに来たと、イギリスに留学しに来た時と今の状態ってほとんど変わってないと思うんですね。だけど、より幸せだし、よりリラックスして人をアクセプト、受け入れられることができた。で、受け入れられるということは幸せでもあるし、幸せであるということが受け入れられるということでもあると思うんです。真実っていうものを求めて生きてると思うんです。で、真実、本当のハッピーネス、本当の幸せ、英語で言うとアブソルートハピネスとか言うと思うんですけど、自分にとっての本当の幸せっていうものを追ってないと思うんです。だからみんなの言われた幸せだったりとか、そのさっき言ったような、教育の中でも、自分にとってのゴールっていうのが本当のゴールでなかったりするっていうもの、小さいものから含めて、本当の真実っていうものをこう探求してないと思うんですよ。それが何千年も何千年も続いてしまっている。一人一人のその本当の幸せなり、本当の真実というものに近ければ近くなるほど、自然と世の中は良くなっていくと思うんですよね。僕はそれが、できつつあると自分の中で思っているので、それを探求していくしかないかなと思うんですよね。Well, I think that I'm achieving closer to the truth, so that I just feel that I just keep doing it. Of course, there's so much distraction and sometimes noises, and I change my mind, or I could be an evil person, so I just got to keep working on. That's why I think I'm doing the practice. そのプラクティスをしているというのは、やっぱり自分を中心に持ってって、時にはその、ノイズがあったり、自分にとって、誘惑があったりして、もしかしたら悪い人間に、得にはなってしまうかもしれないからこそ、自分を中心にするために常にプラクティスしていると思います。Any comment, Larissa?
Practice is actually a fundamental word. You said well, because it's a daily practice that makes the difference. Yeah. And also, I think your movement is a great idea. The idea is great because roots of being, we can say, is a different way of being human being. Right. And it's so important to reach the highest number of people without losing the true nature.
ルーツオブビングという名前がすごくいいなと、その今、サトシさんが話したようなこと、僕が話したこと、とても、同感してて、ルーツという名前がそれぞれ違うルーツということにも言えるので、違った人たちがいるということも、ルーツオブビングという言葉に含まれているなと思います。
Because one of the tricky situation you face when you expand something that you started with a small number of people is to lose the true nature of what you started.
Yep.
Do you think so? What do you think?
What, like any kind of movement, you mean?
Any kind of movement, unfortunately, most of the time lose the true nature when it becomes bigger.
That is true. That's what I'm avoiding. そのいろんなムーブメント、こういうムーブメントの何でも大きくなるとなんかもともとやりたかったことから外れてしまうということに恐怖を感じる問題があるんじゃないかとラリッサが言ってます。I really think so. That's why, it's very important thing is when I try to start this movement, I gather only trustworthy person. That's the most important, I think. その人を集めたときに、この運動をするときに、とにかく一番信用できる人だけを探したんですね。とにかく一番信用できる。I believe my intuition. I really 100% believe in my intuition. If I feel this person is right, and I really feel that, for core members that who might do this movement to as a kind of main members, and anyone who can join and then try to support, I don't mind it, like all the people in the world can support, but to keep it too steady, to keep all the structures of the roots of being, I want only trustworthy person. 本当に信用できる人しか集めてなくて、そのコアのメンバーですね。本当に信用できる人だけを中心にするっていうのがすごく重要だと思います。I think in any kind of system like capitalist or socialist, I think any kind of ideas can be good, but when you pass it over, because they don't have maybe lack of creativity, lack of intuition, they pass to someone who is not right person. And that's why they create a problem. I think federal system can be good. Like if there's a king who is so good and then pass it on to the good one, not just because they're son or like have, I don't know, their convenience. That's the older system corrupts. And any kind of religion too. I mean, religion, if you look at, Christianity, Buddhism, or any kind of religion, there's always a corruption. Always, because they're lacking of this origin. So that's why root, as in R-O-O-T, is also important. なんかそうですね、仏教なりキリスト教でも変わっていってしまうように、例えば資本主義なり、どんな社会主義とかでも、どんな主義でも、いい部分は絶対あると思うんだけれど、どんどん変わっていって悪い方向に行ってしまうのは、ちゃんとした人たちを正しい人が選んでないからですね。そのためには、クリエイティビティとか、インチューションっていうのは、直感ですね。そういうものがないから、壊れていってしまうというところだと思うんです。だから僕はそこはすごい重要だと思って、僕は自分のことを信じられる。で、僕はそういう直感があると思うので、とにかくそういう人たちをコアのメンバーで集めていくこと。で、それを常に守っていけば、どんどん大きくなったとしても変わることはないかな。I think that's the thing. I think the roots of being can be break all the kind of system. We are still in a system of this capitalist idea. That's why it kind of corrupts, because capitalism ideas can be encourage this ego of ourselves and are not really thinking about environment or many things. And so if we are out of that, and if we could create a new system of truly kind of no distraction, and then be yourself, it would help. I mean, it is, we are always in a system, but you could be out of it just in your mind. Because I don't really feel pressure as before. Even I lose all the money, or even I lose all the status, even I lose houses. I think, well, never had a situation like this, but I don't think I will feel terrible as before because of I'm out of it. So you're in a system of this constant ego you create without making like small community. You still can be free from this pressure, I believe. まあコミュニティ、小さいコミュニティを作らなくても自分の中で、フリーになること、自由になることはできると思うので、僕はできているので、だからそういう、状態を作るということはまず大事かなと思います。
I totally agree. Is about happiness is mainly about learning how to be happy with nothing and with everything, and practicing to connect with what you the main topic today is exactly practicing that in a daily life.
毎日プラクティスをすることで、私も同意するように本当の自分の意味の自分の中の本当のハッピネス、幸せっていうものを得ることができると思います。
I also believe that we need is a very deep need, in my opinion. We need to be connected with our spirituality. Probably for you is easier because, for example, you have words like a concept like kokoro, and you have together mind, soul, and heart. We don't have anything like that. I was thinking, because kokoro is one of my favorite words in Japanese, in a few words that I know, and favorite concept. You cannot really find in another culture or language. I'm researching about that.
That's interesting.
You cannot really find that.
You mean kokoro is within, including mind, soul, heart?
Yeah.
心っていう言葉は、マインド、精神、ソウル、魂、ハート、心臓ですね。その3つが重なっていることにすごく面白く感じる、興味深く感じる。スピリチュアルであることっていうこともすごく大事であると思います。It's a spiritual is a tricky word, no? Some people may be like scared of that, or people think it's kind of religious. Especially, yeah, actually in Japan too. Like when you say spiritual, like people feel like, oh my god. スピリチュアルって言葉は結構日本でも宗教的に感じたり、恐れを、抱く人が多いんじゃないかなと思います。What do you think about it?
I was going to ask you. In my opinion, we should make ourselves free to use all the words that we want. Going back to their original meaning or what is inside that word. We cannot talk. Yeah, sorry.
No, carry on. Yes.
Because also this thinking about religion and as something negative because it was used from people to achieve power.
Definitely. Yeah. I think so too. その言葉の元々のその原点に戻れば自由にもう私たち自由にどんな言葉でも話すべきだと。宗教的だとかそういうことっていうのはその後に来た、歴史によってこう変えられた言語の意味であるわけだから、元々のその言語の深い中のそのルーツにあるものっていうものが重要なので、そこにこう帰って考えて感じることが重要だと思います。Yeah, I really agree with that. People are scared of the words because of the meaning surrounding the name of the words like spiritual. Spiritual can be many meaning. It could be dodgy, it could be very, very deep. It could be different. Like we say soul, and then people think, soul doesn't exist. But we use the word like this work has a soul, like it's soulful or soulless. Because everybody believes that, everybody knows and everybody feels that. But we just tend to forget about that. I think that's also a fear. They are feeling fear of seeing the truth and feeling the truth. 真実を避けるためにそういうことが起きてるんじゃないかなと僕は思います。言葉の周りのなんか歴史なりとか意味によって惑わされている人がいるんじゃないかなと。でそういうものもやっぱりその本当の真実というものを避けて通りたいっていう人の心があるんじゃないかなと。What I really actually afraid is a modern society that people are lacking of feeling that is a big things, and maybe because of that, of lack of education in it or lack of practice. Because we are, as I said about the bird nest, we are really be in the bird nest or bird cage, and we're not really flying out. Because of the convenient world, everything is you can get from anywhere, especially the people who live in a city or advanced country. We're not actually practicing at all. That's how I feel. That's what I need to practice even harder. I'm not really doing it. I mean, look at the bird, look at the animals. They are practicing every single day, every single minute, because that's nature, and that's what they learn, and that's what they, that's how the nature works. And why we are protecting so much and not be out of the bird cage. It is pursued the happiness as well to practice being a kind of tougher situation to do something. And then people might think like, why do you have to work so hard? Yes, we need a balance, but we got to do it because we cannot be in the bird cage forever. And that's what's happening. And then they create, excuse me, but I really feel that the music that it sounds like a happy or deep, the film that it sounds like it looks like a deep, but it's not deep. I don't feel any soulful thing in a modern art or modern anything. It's just everything is kind of, I say, hyper reality we live in. That's just because of lack of practice, and also how we constructed the whole world is such a kind of bird cage, I feel. 僕が感じるのは、ちょっと一番不安に思うのはみんなが感じることを忘れているということ。まだまだ鳥かごの中から外に出れない。すごい快適な世界っていうものを作れてしまったために、プラクティスができてないと思うんですね。で自然界の中では鳥でもライオンでもどんな動物でもこう何か、毎日プラクティスをしてその自然界っていうのはそういう風に出来上がってると思うんです。プラクティスをすることによって自分の高い位置に求めてより幸せな場所に行けると思うんですね。人間界の中ではそれがすごく欠損されてきている。それによってこう常に自分が、鳥かごの中にいて、飛び立てない状態で非常に自分の個人的な意見になってしまうかもしれないけれど、今の様々なモダンなアートがどんなものに関しても音楽にしても何に関しても何かディープにすごく深いものを作っているようでいて、とても、上辺だけの部分に感じるっていうのがすごく、僕は懸念しています。
I was thinking while you were talking, how much is related everything we are living in this moment of our history as human beings with the need to be accepted. So everything is so superficial. I don't know if it's worth to summarize, but somehow you are saying there's nothing that is going in depth, right? Was it what you were saying?
Well, I don't say nothing, but I feel the fear of many things, because that is, I really believe that it's happening because of we are lacking of all these physical things, and we kind of living in a hyper reality. That is, I think it's a truth, because that's how I feel, because I feel that. I feel from the people walking like a ghost nowadays, because they don't really pursue what they want to do, what's the real happiness. They are actually okay with the happiness. I feel, because we live in Japan and I move here, and I feel that Europe is becoming like Japan used to be. And then Japan maybe getting worse and worse, but it was like that before in Europe, that people criticizing about the Asian cultures, that it's quite artificial. But that invaded to Europe as well. 僕が思って感じるのは、日本がそうであった。すごくアーティフィシャル、なんていうのかな、無機質な感覚でやる。それは全てやっぱり快適な世界であったから。でもヨーロッパもそういうものがどんどん入り込んできて、人間性というかね、そういうものが楽してきているっていうのは僕は事実であると思う。ラリサが言うには、その全てがそういうふうに、無機質になってますかという質問に対して僕の回答でした。
Well, my strategy is always this. Wherever I live, look for the positive. That is,
sure.
It may seem banale.
Italian?
Yeah, it's like something obvious. Yeah, may seems obvious, but actually, there's so much of good things everywhere. So many good things in every culture, in every country. There are positive things. The challenge is put them together and focus on them, because the reality we live is the reality we think. That becomes our reality. So the more we think that all around us there are beautiful things and there are beautiful situations, there are beautiful people, the more we somehow create that reality. It's not magical, but it works.
Yeah.
To me.
ポジティブなことにフォーカスすることが、不可欠、一番大事かなと思います。そこに、自分が考えることが現実になるので、それぞれの異文化の中で、日本なりアメリカなりイギリスなり、素晴らしいことが起きているので、今現在起きているので、それをどうやってつなげていくかということが大事かと思います。